Sitting in this car now, it's so evocative of my childhood. You know, you've got the typical dash, you've got the dash from the car, the Lotus which went underwater. Can't quite believe I'm sitting in one in many ways, but if you think about it, they were so cheap before. Now this car, looking at around about £17,000-18,000. It's a very usable example, this, just been reupholstered, the interior. I'd love to have the tartan interior, probably the colour, I mean it's a lovely red this, so it probably wouldn't match, but the red tartan interior from the Spy Who Loved Me. So let's take this old girl out. I do love an engine on carbs, they always sound great. Ride surprisingly supple, doesn't tram line because it hasn't got really wide tyres on. Being very gentle on the old girl. Brakes, bit suspect. When they first came out, I mean, they've got the fuel tanks just behind the passenger and just behind the driver. It's got twin fuel tanks. And they were quite well renowned for having the odd accident, and when they had the accident they went up in a ball of flames, so most occupants didn't quite make it out quickly enough. So 100 foot-pounds of torque, 160 brake. Now, heel and toe is possible with this tight pedal box. Yeah, it shifts alright. I'd say it's not. It was obviously sold as an out-and-out sports car. I'm less convinced. Give it its head. Here we go. Not sure what the measurements are, but I imagine that we probably sit higher than you do in an Elise. But still reasonably low. Bit of kickback under braking there. Surprisingly, very few rattles. Car pulls to the left a bit when you brake, or maybe that's the steering wheel. You can probably see from this angle here the way the steering wheel comes out from the side here. It comes out at an angle which is very off-putting. It is a privilege to drive these cars, these older Lotuses, because they were the forerunners. They were the forefront for the Elise and everything that's happening now. Obviously, with the company how it is, things are not looking so good. Hopefully, they'll bring out that Exige V6. But anyway, today we're talking about this beautiful little car. Running my hands over this, it's not interesting. The height of quality back in the 70s. Not now, unfortunately. My clutch foot's not too happy with this pedal arrangement. question on your minds is, okay, we've got a 70s icon, it looks fantastic, does it drive fantastic? The steering out here is very off-putting, your legs are over that way. Ferraris of the era were similar as well. I'm not going to push this car, because obviously it's not mine. It's relatively, it's cracking on a bit now, and it's going to be for sale soon as well. But I don't want to push it around the corners. It feels good in the corners, I have to say. It's not. I'm not gelling with it as much as I have done the Elan or other Lotuses. I would sum this up as a child of the 70s. Bit quirky, like into some funny things. Few design flaws as such. Good fun though. I mean, it is fun. It's great to be in this car. I'm getting a lot of looks just being in it because everyone recognises them. Everyone knows it's a Lotus Esprit. If you have never seen one on the road, you still know what one is because you have seen the Bond film and you know what it is. If it was white, there'd be a hell of a lot more attention I'd be getting. But I don't gel with it like I did the Elan. I think that's the bottom line. But I wasn't expecting to. That's a critical thing. I had high expectations of the Elan. But this car, I didn't have high expectations. I knew it would look good in the flesh, but I kind of knew it wouldn't drive as good as it looked. Still like it though, and I'd still buy one if I could afford one.